Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kim Barrett Show. I am your host, Kim Barrett, and on today's episode, we are talking about understanding constraints in your ads. So if you ever have someone who's had ads, had them running, been getting results, and maybe a little bit curious about how can you make them better or what you need to look at, this is the episode for you. And of course, if we can help you with your marketing, just head over to our free Facebook community, www.joinmygroup.com.au, where we have everything you need to help you with your ads and more. But until then, let's jump into the show. Welcome, guys, and today I'm here with you, just solo, just me, here to share with you a little bit about understanding constraints when it comes to your ads. Now, the very first thing that I have to do is explain what a constraint is. What is the theory of constraints? There's an amazing book called The Goal by Dr. Eliyahu Goldratt, and he is really the one who came up with this whole theory of constraints, looking into it, diving deeper, understanding it, understanding how it applies to business. Great book. If you listen to the audio book, it's phenomenal. There's also a cartoon version, little book, but basically it breaks down and understands how does the theory of constraints work, looking at throughput and output, and it's all based around a mechanical plant going through and then needing, for lack of better terms, producing widgets, and how can they optimize and improve the constraints at every single level. It's a really good understanding and breakdown of how constraints work. The simplified version, the way I like to think about it, is a garden hose. Right, if you have a garden hose that's been sitting outside, it's all kinked up. When you turn on the tap, right, at any one point in time, there's only one kink in the hose that's stopping the water from flowing. Yes, collectively, they might only be allowing a dribble out, but there's only one kink at any one point in time that needs to be worked on to enable water to flow. Same thing when it comes to your business. When you're looking at sales and marketing and operations. Same thing when you're looking at your ads. So I like to personally start with ads. Right, that's one of the things that we do. We help people with and help you to understand. So if you can think about constraints and looking at your ads, similar to that rusty old garden hose, turning on the tap is turning on an ad campaign. What we really need to do to hone in on is to identify where is the constraint, where is the kink in the hose when it comes to our ads. So for lack of understanding of every single person's business, you might be running lead ads, e-com ads, full funnel ads, whatever it might be for you. I'm going to talk about, let's say that we had a landing page that we're sending people to, right? So we had ads on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, sending to a landing page where people were registering for something, for a call or purchasing something from me. First thing that we want to do is look at, is the landing page converting? That's the very last endpoint. That's the last kink in the hose that we would look at. So we look to see what are the statistics on the landing page. Ideally, if it's an opt-in for something free, 15, 20% and above would be the goal that we're looking for. If it's converting an e-commerce product, looking for probably between 1 and 2%. We'll look at that. If that's okay, then we backtrack to look at the ads, right? And I like to look from the end and then we'll work our way up. So if we're looking at a landing page and it's converting okay, but maybe then the next point might be, let's say we had a goal of getting leads for $20. We use that as our number for today. If you had a $20 outcome that we're looking to achieve, and the landing page is converting where it should be, the thing that's probably going to be causing a high cost is going to be the cost per click. So we'll look at what is our cost per click and our click-through rate. So if our cost per click is high, let's say that our cost per click is $3 and our landing page converts at 10%, right? Then we know if it converts at 10% and we send 10 people there, which is going to cost us $30, right? One lead is going to convert. We're paying $30 per registration. Immediately, we know that that's going to be outside of KPI. So we know that the click-through rate is going to be low. The cost per click is going to be high, which also probably means the cost per impression or cost per mille, which is CPM, which is basically what you're going to look at to see is your message and market matching, is what you're putting out there matching to your audience, because that also comes down to the niche that you're targeting and who your audience is. We'll look at those numbers. That's probably going to be high as well. A higher CPM and a higher click-through rate equals a high cost per click. So that means that we have to look at either our messaging first. So before we go and change targeting, I don't like to go and do that too much. I like to make sure that we focus first and foremost on what we can control. Then we can go and test if the audience is a problem, because we know that we've got some conversion, so it must be working okay. Then if we look at our headline, our body copy, and our image, again, 3 things that we can test. Now, first port of call, though, we only want to change one thing at a time. Why do we only change one thing at a time? We change all of them at once. We don't know what worked, right? We need to make sure that we manage things effectively. We need to make sure that as we go through each component, we're seeing what is the thing that's working, what is the thing that's not working. We don't want to make all 3 changes, and then we go, did it work? Oh, it did. What worked? What didn't work? We have no idea, right? We need to make sure that we're specific when it comes to testing our components that we're making changes on in our ads. Otherwise, again, we don't know what's going to work. We don't know what's going to work or not. And we're just hoping and guessing. So if we test those things, again, then we should start to see, hopefully, decrease in cost per click, increase in click-through rate, decrease in CPM, which then again means, boom, we should be starting to see our numbers come through right, because we know that the endpoint is working fine. The landing page is working effectively. Then we can step back and see what we can do from the ads perspective. If that still didn't work, we go back and look at our audience, go back and look at changing our audience, changing demographics, changing our targeting slightly, and seeing what we can do to increase and improve that better and better and better. That's what we would do, because if we do it right, it will work. So for you guys, when it comes to looking at constraints in your ads, everyone goes, oh, the ad doesn't work, or my ad sucks, or I'm not getting enough leads. But what I would encourage you to do is think about it from a constraint perspective. Think about it from a garden hose perspective. Which part isn't working? We're not getting enough clicks. Great. Do we have enough budget? Are the metrics within an acceptable window? We've done a whole training on metrics and things like that as well. We have that on our YouTube channel. Everywhere, if you need it, feel free to reach out and ask. But if you can understand the components that's holding things back, then we can figure out how to improve it, how to optimize it. If it's a landing page, we need to change the landing page copy, button copy, all this sort of stuff that we can do. But first and foremost, you need to identify where is the constraint. So if you can do this in your ads, you can also do it in your business. If you're getting the results that you want, where is the biggest constraint? What needs to be focused on? Because then everything else can be put to the wayside and you only focus on that key area that is your current constraint. You do that and you will have ultimate success, right? It's a simple episode for you guys today, but I highly encourage you, think about your business like a garden hose, like a theory of constraints. Go listen to that book if you haven't as well. And I know that you will get phenomenal results. If you need help with any of that, that's it. Join our free Facebook community, www.joinmygroup.com.au. Reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. Always happy to help and see if I can help you guys get better results. Until next time, though, I'm Kim. Y'all have been awesome. Adios.